For years, I have thought I was a control freak. I like things having to go my own way. I will stay totally by myself. I will eliminate myself from the world, from doing anything with anybody, if I can't have things my way. I've gotten used to that over the life I've led. When I lived in Tokyo as a kid, I spent most of my time by myself because I didn't want to conform to what everyone else was doing. As a teenager, I wanted to basically spend most of my time by myself because I didn't want to conform to what a lot of other people were doing. In my mind, I thought it was stupid. Did the same thing the first couple of years in college. And then by the third year, I found a group of people who I had a lot more things in common with. But even then, there were times where I decided, you know what? I don't want to be with the crowd. I'm going to go off on my own. I'm going to do my own thing. I've pretty much lived by that. Even though I was married for 24 years, if you can call it that. Basically, I was married for that long a period of time, but, you know, we weren't always together. Got to divorce. There you go. Moved on with life. And I've always thought, you know, I could handle things in my own way. I don't want to interrupt anybody else. I just want to have peace in my life. I want to do what I want to do when I want to do it. However, I came across this site that's called Authentic Mental Health YouTube channel. And this guy was saying that there's basically two reasons that people are considered a control freak or may think they are. The first one is that they have this unconscious fear of loss or of control and anxiety. That's me. But the second one says unconscious power needs. And I said, well, no, that one doesn't fit me. I love being in a leadership position, but I don't have to be the leadership person. I'm ready to step up to it. I'm ready to come up with the ideas. I've been pretty good at it over all these years, but I don't necessarily have a need for it. I just kind of have always ended up in that position more often than not. So what he had on the site, and I'm going to link to that site, you know, in the description below so that you can check out to find out if you answer these 8 questions in a way where it says you're a control freak. So there's 8 questions and he puts them out there, and then, you know, he lets you calculate on your own, okay, how many of these did I get? How many of these did I say yes to? At the end of it, I only said yes to 2, which is amazing. The first one was, do you have personal rules, routines, or ceremonies? Well, yeah, I have a whole bunch of those rules. I always have to start with one foot so that I end on the same foot if I'm going downstairs. That's really weird, but that's one of my rules. It's a safety rule I picked up a long time ago, and it's always worked out for me. I like to wear red most of the time. Sure, today I'm wearing black, but this is kind of red. You know, it's a burgundy kind of color. I do have a lot of rules. I don't own anything that's really green. I have to put it that way because the logo for my where I went to college, it's green. But the shirts themselves are not, because I refuse to buy the green shirt. Just not going to do it. So I do have my rules for me. Then the second one says, do other people say you're a control freak? And I said yes to that one, but the truth of the matter is I don't have a lot of people who have actually said that since, goodness, my 20s. And I think it's because I don't hang around with tons of people anymore. Not that I hung out with tons of people back then, but I used to see a lot more people back then than I do now. And over the course of basically the last 30 years, even after I got married, I didn't hang with a lot of different people. I hung out with my ex all the time. And if I wasn't hanging out with her or her friends, I was pretty much just by myself. Nobody can call you a control freak if you're not around anybody. But his test said that if you had 5 or more of these, then you were definitely a control freak. Well, that takes me out of the category of being a control freak. I've been wrong. With that said, I do still have certain things that these days is how I feel about that thing. For instance, I still spend most of my time by myself. I have the phone off. I have, right now, for instance, I have the smartphone totally off. Later on, I'll put it on because I have an alarm for somewhere I've got to be later, early evening. So I'll put that back on. I've got the main phone over here where I just now turned on the ringer. Most of the time, I don't have that ringing. I don't want to interact with people unless I'm ready or in the mood to be interacted with. I eat out a lot. Not necessarily because I don't like to cook, although I don't like to cook. I really hate cleaning up. But the thing is that I can go out, I take my tablet, and it's one of those few times where I feel at peace enough to sit down and watch something. And someone else is bringing me food that I haven't had to prepare. I don't have to worry about anything else. I just sit there, I watch my tablet, watch a movie on the tablet, enjoy my meal. Then I get to get up and leave. And most of the time, it's just me. If I go out with someone else, which doesn't happen often, but if that happens, I'm fine with it because I have a say in whether I want to go out with someone or not. I don't invite people as often. But then again, I'm single and most of the people I know are married or they have other things going on in their lives. And I really don't like rejection. So I don't ask. That's one of those kind of things where you can't say you're a control freak if you're not demanding that someone goes out with you. So I have that. I have, well, my room. And you'll notice that I've got something new on the wall back here. I had my mantra that's been behind me. But the truth of the matter is, when it was behind me, I almost never saw it. Even though I had to see it when I came into the room, I never looked at that. And I decided I needed my mantra in front of me. So right now, it's in front of me, on the wall, above the TV that I almost never turn on. But it's up there along with the 2 plaques, Achieve Success. That is going to help me a lot more because I will be able to see that. I like being in this house. The house is way too big for one person, and yet I'm comfortable in it because I have this whole open space to myself. I have people saying, why don't you get a roommate? You know, have someone come in and help offset the cost. To which I said, I don't know that that would work out well. I like having the freedom of being able to just walk around the house or make noise in the house or do anything. I don't know. That's kind of a controlling thing because the last time, well, okay, I'm divorced now. Obviously, that didn't work out. It worked out for a long time, but in the end, that didn't work out. So it's just me. I guess that's just my way. I'm more comfortable that way. Doesn't mean I don't ever want to be around people, because obviously I do. However, this is interesting in the fact that it's almost always me driving. The only person I ride with more often than me driving is my friend Scott, who I went to college with, who I knew from high school, but we went to different high schools. He's it. Almost anybody else, it is rare that I get in someone else's car. That's interesting, isn't it? But when I ride with someone else, even with Scott, I find myself often closing my eyes when I'm riding with them because you don't get used to sitting in the passenger seat if you drive all the time. You don't get used to how people will crowd up the lights. Are they going to take their arrow? Are they going to turn right on red, which, you know, we have in New York unless it tells you can't. I, do have those levels of discomfort, but I overcome them with him because I've known him for so long. With others, I'd rather do the driving, or I'd rather meet someone somewhere. So it's nice that according to medical definitions or psychological definitions, I'm not a control freak, but I certainly feel like I am. And if I feel like I am, but I'm not, that's a good thing to know. It still gives me something that I need to build on because there are certain things I need to get ready for. I need to be ready for those times where I'm going to be around a lot more people because it's going to happen. I'm a business person. I'm solo. It's just me. I need to go out and learn how to talk to more people. I had a thing going before the pandemic where maybe I went to 2 parties a year. I don't know the next party I'm going to get invited to, if I'm ever going to get invited to one, but the idea says, you know what, you need to say yes and at least go. Even if you're only there for an hour and a half. I'm talking to myself. If I'm there for an hour and a half, gotta go. It's weird, but that's just my way. But I want to know, how do you guys feel? Do you think that you're a control freak? Do you worry about it? Take the test and the link below and let me know your thoughts. And let me know if you think that that's a bad thing if you feel that you are, or if it's a bad thing if the test says that you are. It'd be intriguing. My name's Mitch Mitchell. I hope y'all have a wonderful day.